That'd be great. Thanks so much, Megan, for having me. It's awesome to be here with everybody. I couldn't be more excited about being involved with Vibe. And yeah, I'll just give you a little bit about just a snapshot of my background, because, probably you guys haven't heard of me or met me before. You can tell I've got an accent. And so just firstly, where am I from? I'm an Aussie. I'm from down under, and so I've got a tech background for over 30 years. So I've actually been walking the talk, so to speak, of everything that Megan has been talking about. You could even say potentially everything that Vibe stands for, because I've been fortunate enough to spend the last 12+ years traveling the whole world and doing whatever I love and whatever I like, which happens to be tech, off my laptop. When I was 21, and yes, you can see I've got some whiskers. I've just become a grandfather, if any of you are wondering. My daughter turns 30 this year, and so that gives you some context. But when I was 21, back in the early 90s, back in 92, 93, that's when I got involved in tech. And straight away, I had a vision. I saw the potential of having a laptop, which were brand new back then in the world, and I could see myself working on a beach. This is pre-internet, folks. That's how far I've been able to see ahead, so to speak. And people obviously didn't even know what I was talking about. And I could see that there was going to be an emerging future. How come? Well, I was always into sci-fi as a kid, as a teenager. I was always into all that kind of stuff of the future. And so I just knew that this was going to be where things were going. And then in 95, when my daughter was born, that was the year that the internet actually came about with the web. Okay. And that's when e-commerce started. And that's when the very first web browsers that were just in beta. And I was actually the first web design company in all of Australia. Can you imagine? Like, I had the news coming over every single week. We were being interviewed, and I was out there selling the web, selling the internet. And everybody was telling me it was a fad. They were telling me it was going to pass over and disappear. Can you imagine? Everybody, we had the yellow pages and the telephone books and the newspapers, and everybody said that was always going to be there. I knew it was all going to disappear. I was already ordering from Amazon as soon as it came out. So you can just see I'm a deep geek all the way. But what was my real passion there? My real passion was with e-commerce. I could see a pathway for people to become free. That's what actually inspired me, because that's what I wanted for myself and my family. And yes, I was an early adopter, and it took basically the next, 10, 15 years for the rest of the world to catch up. It was 12 or 13 years after my vision that the iPhone came out. Can you imagine? It was 2007. That's when up until then, people were just like, messing around. They were still on their clunky computers at home. The internet we had dial-up back in the 90s. It was so slow. Nobody could see what those of us could see where it was really going, which was actually to where we are right now. And let me tell you, I've been through every single major, clearly, all these tech innovations, which started with the web when I first saw e-commerce, when I saw the potential, and I started making money online, as did my tech geek friends. And we were like, wow. I started speaking and touring and teaching people about that. What was the next major innovation? So that was the first one. The next one, you could actually say it took about 9 to 10 years, and that was social media, okay? And that's when things really started to move, where people started to get involved and the web became less boring, thanks to Facebook and Twitter. And that was 2004. All of that happened. And YouTube, all of that in 2004. This might be, maybe some of you folks can remember that stuff. Maybe some of you can't. But I was right there. And I was one of those people out at the conferences, teaching at the shows, at the big expos. I was there because I'm an educator. As a kid, I was trained up to be a performer on the stage. My favorite thing was being on stage, and the bigger the audience, the better. I've literally toured around the whole world teaching this tech stuff to audiences in the thousands. I've been invited to go and speak at Harvard, at Stanford, even at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland, where I put on a cryptocurrency conference. I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, I'm just giving you that context so you can kind of see where I was, because the second innovation, that was essentially with social media. The third one was mobile itself. Mobile, because suddenly we had the computer in our pocket. People used to say that, Bill Gates and Windows, they won the war back in the 20th century between Mac and PC. And that's true, because Bill Gates had a vision, a very smart vision, for a computer on everybody's desk. How genius was that? Back in the 70s, Bill Gates saw that. And so did Steve Jobs. And they were neck and neck. They were fighting. And Bill Gates, he well and truly won that. But guess what? Jobs had and Apple had a bigger vision. They were like, no, forget that. Not a computer in everybody's desk. How about put a computer in everybody's pocket? You know, how about that? That's where Apple just won the game. Okay. They won the game because they could see how they could shrink the whole thing down. And things haven't even really got started yet. You know, things are growing exponentially from that, because once you put that level of power in everybody's hand, and it took 5 years or so for everybody to really get with that program until 2010, 2012, and suddenly the whole world, everybody had a smartphone by then, 2012. And that's when I sold my company in Australia, my tech firm, and I was like, phew, I'd finished raising my daughter. She was done at school, and I just decided to go, and what did I want to do? I wanted to travel the whole world with my laptop. And so I just at the end of 2012, imagine that, December 2012, that's when I wound things down in my home. I wrapped it all up. I wrapped up my whole Australian life. Who's ever felt like doing that? That's what I felt like doing. I just wanted to do that. And I got myself down to two bags. And I just traveled the whole world, going and speaking at conferences, because now, guess what? Now there was Airbnb. There was Uber. I realized I didn't need to own a house. I didn't need to own a car. Every city I wanted to go to. And I went and traveled and lived in 40 or 50 countries, folks, all over the whole. I was just having a ball for the whole last dozen years. Obviously, you know, when 2020 happened, we all know what happened that year. Things kind of got a bit tricky. But I was also scoping out the world for my favorite spots. And to be honest, folks, because, you know, guess what? You might not know. You might not have probably traveled to 40 or 50 countries. I wanted to really explore the whole world and figure out where are my favorite spots. And I discovered where they were. They were Thailand, Bali, and Mexico. You know, I just fell in love with those places. And so I've spent the last, dozen years literally splitting each year. Half the year living in Thailand, half in Mexico, and I love living in Bali. So I basically just split myself up around the world. And because of technology, I could do that. And so that's when things got to that third innovation. You could say I was talking about with the mobile phone, but what was the fourth innovation? Because there I was traveling, and then blockchain. Then basically the internet became money itself. Okay. And that was, people still are wrapping their head around that. Because let me tell you, there's been two completely extraordinary major phases of the internet. The first was, what did the internet do for the first 25 years or more of the internet? It consumed and repurposed all of human communication. The entirety of human communication. That meant that, all telephone calls, all speaking, all letters, all, that became emails, all flyers, all videos, everything, all communication became the internet. But guess what? That was the internet's only first phase. And people think that's enough. They think, well, what else could the internet even do? After it's consumed and repurposed all of human communication. Well, guess what, folks? What's the other, apart from communication? There's one other completely enormous thing that humanity is driven by. It's completely driven by one more thing, and that is value. That is the actual unit of account. That is money. That is bean counting. That is, how do we have a measure of exchange between each other? And meanwhile, the whole world for the last 120 years was connecting up all the dials, all the pipes, all the connectors around the world for Forex trading, for stock markets, for banking. And yeah, it took 100 years. But guess what? That was just the foundation level. That was the foundation level for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin to step in and take all of that power. And the internet was able to use that. And people thought they were just like trading stocks. And no. Things are just getting started, because money itself, currency itself, is being repurposed, reinvented by the internet, thanks to decentralized finance. Nobody has ever seen anything like this. And it's been running for 17 years. Can you imagine? Bitcoin's been going for 17 years, folks. This is how long this has been going on in the background. And that was that next major fourth iteration that I went through in my journey of my 33 years as a tech entrepreneur. And folks, there's one more, the fifth one, that has just landed in the last 2 years. And of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is AI. And AI is obviously, each one stacks on each other. So you have the web, the foundation layer of e-commerce. Then you have social media on top of that. And then you have mobile. Everybody's got a computer in their pocket. That's the third one. And then the fourth one, you have blockchain technology. That's the fourth one. And then you have AI. there's millions of us fortunate enough to have been living all.
Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. I thought it was me because I'm in this hotel. We may have.
I'm back,
You're
folks.
back. Let me spotlight you.
I'll
I
keep on
thought it
going.
was me because I have bad internet right now. So let me spotlight you really quickly.
That's all right. Thanks.
Uh-oh, hold on 1 second. If I can. Spotlight.
All
Let
good,
me
folks.
let me stop the video for a second.
I'm just sharing how I'm really passionate, you can tell, about sharing technology so that if any of you are also inspired by living that kind of life where you get to travel and speak and enjoy, and maybe you're not some tech geek like me, because guess what, folks? To be really honest, all of this work is play for me. I am playing here with this. I hope you can tell just how much fun I'm having with blockchain, with AI, with tech, with e-commerce, all of this. This is my true and real passion. I'm totally into this. And it might not be your thing. Maybe there's actually you have other dreams. And that's really important that you get to explore and discover exactly who you really are. Because in a world that demands so much from you, a world that defines and tells you who you are because of the job that you have, all the pressures that you're under. I do understand. I have been there. You could imagine, I've raised a family, all of that. We know what that's like. It is a huge responsibility, but I'm here to tell you that you can completely break free. And I mean break free on levels that you cannot even imagine, because I've been doing that myself. And I set that vision from back when I was 21. And for the last, 33 years, I've been so blessed and fortunate because of the choices I've made, the people I've decided to go and hang out with, those who taught me early on. And was I at university? To be honest, guys, did I quit my degree that was just very average? I was at one of the most prestigious universities in the world, out at Sydney University, but I could tell that I needed to become an entrepreneur. And even though I had a family, I was going to make myself the one accountable for pulling in the money each week from the thing that I love, which is technology. And why? Because I could see a pathway ahead for all of us to become free. And something I don't always talk about in other communities because they're not necessarily ready to hear it, but do I feel completely divinely guided? Absolutely. In fact, it is the messages from above that are sent directly to me on a weekly basis that are so specific. Let me tell you, folks, it is extraordinary, the messages. I've built an incredible platform that I've partnered. I didn't even mention it. It's called CFire. Okay, CFire stands for Crypto is Fire. And FIRE stands for Financial Independence to Retire Early. Financial independence to retire early. Who doesn't want some of that? Well, that is a name that's been running for 30 plus years. There is a Reddit community with 2 million people in it. I didn't invent FIRE, but I have invented CFire, and see, crypto is fire, because that's my passion. I can see how you can take crypto and DeFi, decentralized finance, and you can start making a passive income for yourself. This is the heart of the matter. Let's get down to brass tacks, where the rubber hits the road. What is this actually about? Inside of CFire, you can come and learn, even at the free level. That's why we've partnered with Vibe. I'm so grateful. I'm so thrilled to be working here with Megan and her entire amazing team. Because even at the free level of CFire, you can come and get access to over 100 lessons with your own personal AI crypto tutor. You get your own training bot that takes you by the hand for free over at CFire.ai, at cryptoisfire.ai. You get to go over there and we will assist your AI 24/7, helping you understand everything that we've been talking about here today and more. And in the back end, we even have a banking infrastructure. We have a cryptocurrency. We have a wallet infrastructure that is directly partnered with Vibe. And we have 8 levels of membership that go from free and $7 And yes, all the way up to even over $7,000. Why is that? Why is there so much value there? Because we're going to show you how to blow the roof off your income that you can make anytime you want. Basically, at the heart of the matter is a systematic approach of you using DeFi, decentralized finance, of crypto under your control, where you can make over $100 a day. So that's it, folks. That's the heart of the matter. It's like you can basically learn step by step how to generate a passive income, which doesn't take 50,000 or 100,000. You can do this out of the gate with a smallish savings fund. And we are not, obviously, there's no financial advice here. I'm not a financial planner. I'm your educator. I am your crypto is fire. You get access to all of this. We're building this into the back end directly of your Vibe back office. So don't even worry if you're not catching all of this right now. We are just getting started, folks. No one has anything quite like this. No one's seen anything like what I've built over there at CFire, and certainly not what Megan and her team has built with Vibe. Nobody has seen anything quite like this. And so this is the launch week. This is where things are about to be lit. This is fire, folks. You want to get out there and tell people just how on fire we all are, and your passive income. You don't need to get worried. Guess what, folks? It's been going on for 17 years with Bitcoin. Just chill. You can see I'm excited, but you can just chill, because none of this is going anywhere. It's only going to get better and bigger from here. And you can just go step by step slowly. With CFire, you get access to a whole year of membership. A whole year. You can just bite size. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can just be like, wow. You can just chill and go through the lessons. And I understand. Guess what, guys? I've built over 1,000 lessons inside CFire. I know you're not going to go through 1,000 lessons, and that's at the highest levels. That's at the super over $7,000 level. But even every level unlocks 100 lessons. And that's a lot of material, but I've put it in there for you so that you can start to go through it step by step. But I knew that you wouldn't even have time for that. That's where AI comes in. I have built 8 levels of AI. It's like each level, the AI brain gets bigger and bigger. It sucks up all those extra lessons, and you can speak to it. You can just log into the back end of CFire and say, hey, today's May the 20th. What should I be doing? What should I be doing? I've built out about 100 lessons just on how economics and macroeconomics works. If you want to understand how the world of finance, how does banking function? If you want to know how to do savings, if you want to know how to carefully manage your crypto, combining it with your Forex trading, I'm not kidding, folks. We have the AI system here in the back end of CFI that will take you by the hand 24/7 and show you exactly what to do today. So that gives you a snapshot of what we have. Megan, maybe you'd like to jump in.
You got me so excited. I love the history level. I wish I could spotlight you, but internet's doing something crazy in here and it's freezing. So guys, if you can't see Barnaby, just scroll over on your picture on your phone, scroll over and you can see us. Okay. If you can't see right now, because for some reason when I spotlight, it freezes us up. No, but I absolutely love the fact that you take us through that history lesson, because a lot of people are scared of crypto. They're scared of DeFi. Because I was one of those individuals where I'm like, I'm not spending $200 on fake air money. Now I know. And then I was in a company where Bitcoin was at 3,000 a month. And I was like, I don't have $3,000. Now look where we are progressing to. So let me ask you a question, Barnaby, because number one, I've seen your platform and I've been blown away, and you and I have been friends for years now. And I'm just so very grateful that you see fit to partner with Vibe, that you are going to be educating. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you are super excited to learn more from Barnaby, because he is going to be one of the educators. And again, it's loud in here because I'm in a hotel downstairs. But Barnaby, you said something really key that I was blown away, is AI. And you have this tiered program where it's free, and then it might be $7. Then if you want to go to the next tier, it's $99 and you can pay the difference. And then it might be a different tier, all the way up to that tier that really teaches you how to really maximize this space altogether. So my question is, talk to us a little bit about the AI, because I I don't have time sometimes to go and watch 100 videos, even though I want to watch 100 of your videos, and it's probably one of the best platforms I've ever seen in this space. And I'm not just saying that. We've worked really hard on this deal, if you will, to get you over here. We didn't have to twist your arm because you were all about helping people. But how is that AI going to kind of really jumpstart and speed up the learning or curve for Vibe individuals?
That's a really important and amazing question. So essentially, even let's say you did start going through the lessons, and I know I've built a ridiculous number of them, and each lesson has a video with it. So I've tried to make it as digestible as possible. Each one has like a 2 to 20-minute video, depending on the complexity. And I know that most of us learn best through videos, but not everybody. And that's why there's a text-based lesson as well. So when you go through, if you were to go through a lesson and you watch the video and then you read through the text, guess what? It's still possible that it might not click for you. It might not, because even though you've gone through the material, you might be wondering, well, because of your particular situation. And I'm not trying to say that anybody's not smart enough. I'm just saying, what if the lesson is good, but it's not directly related to your personal situation? That's where the AI comes in. You can specifically say to the AI, hey, I've just been learning about this particular crypto wallet or this particular DeFi trading fund where I'm able to make this passive income, but it doesn't quite work like this or that. How does it function for me personally? Or if I've got this particular wallet over here, or if I'm in that particular country, can you make that lesson personal for me? Or explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Can you please take that lesson? Or actually, I want you to take the entire curriculum of that course because there's 100 lessons. Can you go through the entire curriculum of those 100 lessons there and distill it to me in the top 5 points? How does that sound to you, Megan, when you just get to say that?
You know what? So, former English teacher, I had to teach the kids how to pass those questions, right? The test. And I always would tell the kids, read all the questions first. So it's in your brain of what's going to be asked, and then go and read the text. That was just kind of a teaching mechanism. But now we have AI. We can say, this is how I would use your program. This is how I have used your program. And I've really enjoyed going through. Thank you for giving me access a long time ago. But I would go through it and say, AI, give me all the top 5 to 10 things that I'm going to learn in this particular course. So it's pulled out to me first. I don't like surprises, Barnaby. Tell me what it's about first. And so now I can go through, okay, these are the key points. So now when I go and read or watch, it's already standing out to me what's important. I'm an English teacher always. I always like to do that first. So I love that, Barnaby, that your AI will allow us to kind of like do a little cheating first so that we can understand before we really truly understand.
Absolutely. And there's so many more levels that AI is coming out. Like, what I've got in the wings is so much more. Did you know that now you can actually it's going to sound a bit strange, but a digital twin of yourself? Do I already have built an AI version of Barnaby that looks like and talks identically to myself that you can actually speak to? You can speak to or type to. And so again, 24/7, because I'm a real human over here, folks. I need to sleep. I get to sleep each night. I go for walks. I enjoy my life very much. I'm very, very blessed, very grateful. And yet I know that people, as we want to scale, we do want to help hundreds, thousands, actually even millions of people. That's my vision. That's my commitment, is to show all of you, to help you become free. Because guess what? When you're just having the bestest life you can possibly imagine, like I've been having for the last 12+ years, it ain't cool when you know how the majority of people are living. Because I would go every year, I'd go to India, I'd actually go and check out where the majority of people live and how they live. And I knew that I was blessed to be born. You can see how I was born over in Australia in a very privileged situation. Is it the luck of the draw? Who knows why or how we all end up how we are. But I knew that because I was able to, speak English and type on a keyboard and was highly educated, I had to share this. I was like, I just felt like like almost like a duty, but not with any guilt, just because it's a joy, just because like, wow. And I developed a 30+ year skill set. I'm like, I've actually invented my own cryptocurrencies, folks. I built out the world's first ever NFT music platform. NFT music platform where we were working with musicians. Can you imagine turning musicians into NFTs? Folks, I'm here to tell you, I invented meme coins. You know, we raised $1 million in that selling those kind of music NFTs. Folks, if you can imagine it now, if you can dream it, you can launch it. And that's another reason for you to be inside CFire, inside Crypto is Fire. You come in here, you join the program, you're going to start seeing, wow, is this really possible? But maybe you just want to chill out on the beach with your family and your laptop. Maybe that's cool. Just do that for a year or two and then just reset. But maybe, you see, the thing is you have to strike while the iron is hot. And I'm here to tell you, I don't mean to kind of like be any alarmist, but this AI that Megan was talking about, every single one of these incredible tech tools is a two-edged sword. Folks, you know that. It's a two-edged sword. What does that mean? It means it's here to cut through all the difficulties for you. It'll slice through and clear the path so that you can march on through. But guess what? It's also a scythe that can come and cut you down. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is the possibility and even the likelihood that AI is coming for a lot of people's jobs. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just, even in my own business, I've been able to scale so rapidly with building everything thanks to AI. In the past, in the truth of the matter, I had to hire people. I had to hire so many more people to do everything, to do the programming, to do the logos, to do the videos, to do build out websites. I had to hire people to help me. But now I can actually, I've got like, 10 AI bots. It's like that. And you want to learn these skills. I'm not kidding, folks. There is a seismic shift change in wealth that is happening right now. In this decade right now, the 2020s, there is nothing else ever happening like this. You want to be prepped. You need to get your family in order for the 2030s, which is less than 5 years away, folks. You got to just make this work. And so I'm not telling you that you have to, put your grind to the, to the floor or whatever, but that's why I'm also working very hard. I love it. I'm working very hard because I get the seismic shift change that is about to happen. And I feel for all of you. I feel for people around the world. And if we want to see the world that we imagine as possible, where everybody's free, I truly believe that. I mean, maybe it's a bit too hyperbolic to say, but until all of us are free, none of us are free. And you know who I'm quoting when I say that. And I am deeply inspired by such visions. Megan, back over to you.
I love that. I'm super passionate about everything that I do. When I met James, which is your bestie and my bestie as well, he has changed my life when it comes to just the knowledge that's out here. I know he's heavy into cryptocurrency, DeFi, and when he was talking, James is like all over the place, right? And it's hard to catch up with him sometimes. But when he introduced me to you, my life truly has changed. My outlook has changed. And all I've wanted to do, and Reagan and Andre, is be able to share our knowledge and our network with the world. So I appreciate it. Could you tell the people really quickly why, though you have been so successful, you've traveled the world, you just won a major award that you didn't talk about, which you should. You just won a major award. So talk about that award first, and then tell me, like, why Vibe though? Why would you partner with little old us, our 74,000 people growing at 500 to 2,000 a day? And I just did a major call with your team. You launched your business. I've been telling everybody on here, launch your business, invite all your friends. You invited 15 to 18 of your friends onto a call, and we're doing another launch call for you tomorrow because you are heavily involved in the sharing of Vibe as well, not just the educating, but the sharing of Vibe. So talk to us about your award that you left out. He is super humble, guys, but I'm not going to let him off the hook. And then why Vibe? Like, why partner with us?
Cool. I think Megan's referring to, I attended one of the Ethereum conferences, and I was actually one of the selected group. We were part of a team, and basically, yeah, I won, basically best Ethereum programmer. We were there as this team. That was really cool. And you can do that by going to conferences. And these awards, I mean, that's not even across the years. I mean, maybe you can kind of tell, like, I do feel, I come from a line of missionaries, to be really honest. If you really want to, you can kind of tell. I just do. So my gift of being on the stage as a child, and I typically, when I speak at conferences, I typically win best speaker. That's also just what's happened across the years. So, I mean, one of those things is like, I have just got that natural skill. I feel very blessed. And maybe there is, I don't know, maybe some humility with that, but it comes actually from a deep confidence that I just know I deliver, you know, and I keep on winning the awards, but you know, it's just because that's a measure for my actual real skill. And, you know, you can't really fake that kind of stuff. And I have also, because I have a lot of fun doing that. You have the most fun where your joy is. And not everybody's joy is talking on the stage about tech and programming to win awards. And for Ethereum, maybe you don't even know what Ethereum is. That's the number 2 crypto. You know, that's what actually invented DeFi, decentralized finance, the programming of money. If I want to leave you with another complete brain bomb, did you know that money itself is programmable now, thanks to Ethereum? 2015, 10 years ago, folks, I was outside the door in New York where Ethereum was being launched. It was being launched in a secret little group. I keep on just showing up at all these places. It is extraordinary. Once you unleash yourself, you give yourself permission. No one's going to give it to you. No one's going to give you this permission. You have to claim it. You have to give yourself, just say, hey, wow, I want to have a blast. Why? Because you're here on Earth. This is a gift. And it sounds like it's all about the tech and the money. Humanity's into that. Let's get real. Humanity is into tech and money and a whole lot of other stuff, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of, you know, not so cool stuff. So we want to be the ones that are up to the good stuff. Because let me tell you, there are other very powerful people at work and succeeding who do not have your best interest at heart. They do not. But guess what? Technology has been decentralized now. Money is in the process of being decentralized. This cannot be stopped. This is unstoppable transformation, putting the power in your hands, folks. And that's why I'm so interested in and loving being partnered here with Vibe. Because come on, a community of over 74,000 people who are interested in this topic of how to free themselves and free other people using technology to help each other all out with lending a hand. Sharing this intel, this alpha, as we call it, this like cutting edge technology information to show you step by step how to break free. And guess what, folks? We know what it's like, actually, all of us, the whole world. We all know what it's like to be curtailed, to be controlled, to be told where to stand and how to sit, don't we? We know exactly what that's like. And we will not let that happen again. And so now we've had a preview. We go, okay, wow. Also, this is the game, folks. It's a game. And you can put yourself in the box seat. No one is going to stop you because we are dealing with unstoppable technology where you can unlock the keys to bank vaults, to wallets. And we don't even have time to go through it. That's why we've built, you know, CFire backend with all the education and Vibe here so that you can unpack this across the whole next year. Imagine if you just spend the next all 2025. We're not even quite halfway through. You just dial it in. You give yourself permission to really drill into this and become that most empowered person. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of, you know, haters are going to hate. I don't know, tell you this isn't possible. Look at me. I did it. People can do this. There ain't no difference between you and me. Let me ask you, this is a really powerful point that one of my mentors, he explained to me many decades ago. He said, do you absolutely agree that in 10 years time from now, there is a 13-year-old today, a 13-year-old kid right now, who in 10 years time will be a crypto millionaire, if not sooner, okay? But a crypto millionaire when they're 23 in 10 years time, that means in 2035. Or even what about a real estate millionaire? Or how about any other kind of millionaire that you might imagine, but they're only 13 right now? Do you agree that that is true? Yes, you do. You know that's true. It's actually a fact that that's what's happening, even in your city, and not just one 13-year-old. There will be thousands of them, okay? But you tell me right now, are you 13 years old? I don't think so. Does that 13-year-old know the stuff you know? Do you have a distinct advantage over them? Absolutely. So what are you doing for the next 10 years, folks? This is the time. You can claim all of this, and then you can go help that teenager. You help them so that they do become that person, and they will become that millionaire at 23, thanks to you. Megan, back over to you.
You make me so excited. I know everybody is super excited in the chat. right now. And we've been telling them like we have, so I'm speechless and they know that's impossible with me, but I know when to sit back and take notes. I know when to listen. I've been in the rooms with you, Barnaby, and I just am so very grateful that we're now going to be working together. But now it's not just me working with you. Now it's we can introduce this to our entire network so that we don't have survivor's remorse. Because Barnaby, that's what I was having when I met, reconnected with James and all the things I learned from him. I was having survivor's remorse, like I'm leaving people behind and I know something that they don't know. Then I met you, and then my mind was like, okay, now where do I start? And I started, honestly, Barnaby, I started to get like, okay, it's so much information. I don't know where to start. And then confused people do nothing. And then you said, slow down. It's education. We will walk you through the ladder. And if you're willing to learn, you can learn with CFire. And then Andre and Reagan and was able to take a look at it, and we agree it is one of the best of the best. And it's not our only crypto academy, guys. You're going to get a chance to hear from Barnaby again tonight, and you're going to get a chance to hear from Miss Tiila Kidd, who's heavy into like the meme coins. She has a couple bored apes, and we have this whole crypto pod, Barnaby, that you're now going to get to vibe out, and you say geek out, I say academic out with the crypto pod that we have put together. We have a Forex pod of educators we've put together. We have the sports betting pod. We have the personal development performance coach pod here at Vibe. And you guys are going to get an opportunity to kind of move around. And it's not CFire like SEA, it's C, like a C. CFire. So I know it's 2:03 and I'm in this hotel. I'm going to get out of here, but Barnaby, is there anything else that you want to leave with the people? Because this is just the beginning. Guys, put a 7 in the chat if you are excited to learn and be inside of Barnaby's class. And CFire is part of our direct sales, but part of CFire is free. There's a free version for everybody to take advantage of. And then if you want to walk up the ladder, we actually have put a referral bonus on it, guys. Listen, so if somebody comes in and gets the $7 version or the $99 version, it's one time and you can walk your way up. We've put a referral bonus. That's what we've been doing, Barnaby, for the last 5 months, is taking all of our amazing partnerships and cutting deals, willing and dealing with our partners, because Barnaby, you're successful on your own, but multiple people have to get paid, right? So and Barnaby knows this, when we brought CFire over, Vibe, obviously, we're bringing it over. How do we benefit? How does Barnaby benefit? Because he's put millions of dollars into CFire. How does the sponsor of the person benefit, right? So we got to cut a lot of people in on the deal. So when people, Barnaby, are like, why is it taking so long? They don't know what we've been doing. And oh, I want to really quickly share this, because you have the same platform, banking hub, if you will. Ours is called Vibe, Vibe Bucks Hub Portal, which, can you real quick speak on that, on how powerful that is? Because I know some of our people don't know how to use crypto. They don't know how to use wallets. They're struggling to even do the basics. That's why they're going to take your classes. But how powerful is that system that we have going to be, because you have the same payment portal system that Vibe has?
It is beyond imaginingly powerful. It's so powerful, we can't even go through all the details right now. Not because we don't have time, but because it's almost like too powerful to speak about. So I'm going to say just a few things about it. Basically, whatever you can imagine, if you were to write your little cheat list of your ultimate financial hub of money, of dollars, of euros, of currencies, and crypto, and Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and XRP, and the stable coins, with a crypto spendable card, all of that in one platform where you're earning your commissions from Vibe and from CFire, that's paying in the CFire over here, and that's the C. The crypto is Fire. The commissions that you're gonna get plugged into all of that through Vibe. But suffice to say, it's 30% on that first level. We don't have a whole big multiple levels of the network. It's a different system to what Vibe has got. You're going to earn so much through Vibe. It's extraordinary. And then stepping like lockstep in that, you have other opportunities with other educators, obviously not just me. That's what's extraordinary about CFire. You're going to have so many opportunities with so many incredible teachers here, and you're going to vibe with certain ones. And that's going to be beautiful to see. And you're going to earn in this incredible hub of finance where you'll be able to send the funds back to your bank account. You'll be able to switch in and out of crypto. Just let this sink in as I'm saying it, like for real, like, wow, you'll be able to exchange it and move it into Bitcoin, into Ethereum. You'll be able to send it to whatever other bank accounts you want in the world. And most extraordinarily, and this is pretty geeky, pretty techy, but the crypto wallet side of it inside there is actually decentralized. You hold the private keys. The world has not seen anything like this. I'm not kidding when I say this. This is extraordinarily, this is like Coinbase and Binance, the biggest exchanges, they are centralized. That means when you put your crypto with them, it's actually with them and they might collapse. There's been some huge exchanges that have collapsed and very sadly, people lost their money, their crypto, they lost it. Some of them lost vast amounts. It's tragic. And so you need to learn how to keep your crypto, how to keep your money safe. Inside this platform, the private keys, that's like the password behind the wallet, they stay with you. Suffice to say, this is way more powerful than even PayPal. Even some of these other payment platforms like Stripe, if you know what I'm talking about. Really, it takes a minute for you to digest all of this, but you don't have just today or this week. But suffice, you just need to know that when the commissions come to you into this platform, which will be coming through Vibe and through CFire, through Crypto is Fire, you'll be able to manage that to a degree that you have not been able to before. And that's why all this education will become most critical, because you'll actually discover through these platforms here how much easier it's going to be for you to generate the money. The next step is about you keeping it and magnifying it into generational wealth. And that's why we are all here for you for the long term, for this whole decade, to ride this with you until we get to the 2030s and even beyond. Let's go there. Megan, back over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited. And I keep telling people, I don't think they really know what's getting ready to happen. And this is why I know that they don't know, because I'm in a space where I'm like, what's next, Lord? The next day, it's like, what's next, God? What's next, Lord? And the overflow is coming, and it's in the form of people. It's in the form of knowledge. So I am so very grateful. People are, yes, they can refer people to Vibe and they can make commissions and they can shift those commissions to multiple places. We just designed our Vibe bank card. Tony designed it. It's beautiful. So people can shift money to their Vibe bank card. Also, in your platform, if people decide that they want to refer people to CFire, they can earn in crypto over there. And we haven't even touched on, outside of the legacy network and the fast start bonuses and the check matches, they don't even understand the ecosystem allows them to earn by creating courses, by taking what they've learned and sharing it with the world. But then they have no idea. Now they can go over to Crypto is Fire and purchase education and refer over there and earn in crypto over there. It's just, it is mind-boggling. It is just a whole circle of money and knowledge, and we're just excited that you have decided to partner with us. So leave us with one thought and we're going to get off of here, Barnaby. And you're going to come back with me tonight at 8:00, right?
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. Yay.
We're
This
going
is
to
so
bring
much fun.
Barnaby back, and then we're also going to bring a few other individuals as well, so you guys can vibe out together about crypto. So you guys want to bring all of your people back. Leave us with the word, Barnaby.
Just believe that you can do this step by step. You know, that's really the key here, is that you start incrementally. You know, there's a lot here. It's almost like overwhelmingly powerful on all of this. And so take that excitement and understand that actually it needs to be very methodical, and just trust that you have all the keys now, and for you to just methodically go through that. And so that's what I want to leave you with, is just knowing that you can do it, and it'll be a journey. a step-by-step journey. Thanks so much, Megan, for having me today.
Thank you. I can't wait to learn more tonight, and you could do it all over again for the 8 o'clock people as well. And feel free to add whatever you want. But guys, bring your people back. Barnaby's going to be back and also our other crypto educator as well. So hopefully you guys are blown away. I'm going to unmute you really quickly. Hopefully we don't have any pesky people on. That will be a thing of the past pretty soon, Barnaby, because we have an encryptic communication system that we're going to be using. So no pesky people can get on that aren't supposed to be on here. But guys, go ahead and give Barnaby some love really quickly. Unmute your line for me.
Thank you, Barnaby. That was so amazing.
Thank you.
Barnaby, we love you. Good job.
Presentation. Can't wait.
Barnaby.
The
Incredible.
Barnaby, look forward to
Love
working with
it.
you.
Thank
From
you.
Barnaby, we love
Look
you
forward to
now.
meeting you.
Look forward to meeting you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys. If you didn't get a chance to say your love, guess what? Barnaby will be at our conventions when we start having them. We can rub elbows, break bread together. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Barnaby. I appreciate you. I'll see you back here at 8 o'clock. See you guys. See you, everyone.